Let's say you manage a major airline which has just experienced a crash on takeoff at a major U.S. airport, killing all 140 passengers and crew of 10. The crash occurred at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. You know this is obviously going to be a major news event. How do you proceed? Well, if you've done your preparations, you already have a crisis communications plan. That plan is going to be activated immediately. Everyone knows his or her roles in this plan. One of the first things you're going to do is set up a toll-free number so that family, loved ones, and friends of those on board can call. And you're going to staff those phones with the most caring, considerate employees that you have. Because when you take those phone calls, you're going to be communicating with people who, in many cases, are going to have to prepare for the worst news they've ever received. Usually, I have people tell me they don't like to set up those toll-free information lines until they have information to give out. And consequently, the loved ones end up getting their information from live TV news coverage, which, believe me, can really aggravate an already horrible situation. Even if you don't have anyone on the scene from your crisis team, even if you don't think you have information to give out to the families, friends, and loved ones, you really do. For example, let's assume that the first call that comes in is from a hysterical mother. She can hardly speak, but she tells you, "My 16-year-old daughter is on that flight. I want to know if she survived." How are you going to respond to that? Well, what you aren't going to say is, "We don't know anything yet." That's almost as bad as not even answering the telephone. What you want to tell people is, right now, every available emergency crew is responding. We will be getting some information back shortly, and if you leave me your phone number, we can call you. And be sure you do call them back. Now, I'm not going to get into all the telephone protocol involved in these types of situations. You obviously know not to be short with anyone. You want to be as helpful and sincere as you can be. And when your spokesman goes before the live news cameras, you want him or her to use phrases to let the public know that you care and that you are actively responding. I know your attorneys are going to advise you not to talk about such things as how the crash occurred or why it occurred, but there's still a lot you can say and that you need to say. Remember, this is a horrible time for everyone, and you need to let the public know that you care. You want to use phrases like this: "Our hearts and prayers go out to all of those involved in this incident. We have our own teams on the ground assisting the first responders. In the meantime, we've set up some toll-free numbers for the families, friends, and loved ones of those on board." Even though statistically you may still have the safest airlines in the sky, this is not the time to bring that up because it makes people think that you only think of people as numbers and statistics. And remember, the only statistic that's important to that parent frantically calling you on the telephone is their loved one. This is the time when you can show the people that you care by letting them know what you are doing. And the first thing that you're going to do, you're going to remember whose side you're on. You're on the public side. You're on the side of those who died in the crash. And those are the people you're going to identify with.